Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about the 5-count indictment unsealed today against New York Mayor Eric Adams. Okay, let's start here. We had some sense of what they were investigating and some idea that Adams had been kind of fast and loose and illegally consorting with officials from Turkey in some ways that were murky. What is unveiled today is far more serious and far more broad than just that. Far more broad. So it starts, at least the indictment does. This, by the way, remember I talked yesterday about the indictment in Florida of the attempted assassin, how that was bare bones. Here is the opposite. And consistent with SDNY practice, we have a speaking indictment. And it's got a kind of a shock and awe impact when you see it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with putting out the allegations in full-bodied form, but it really packs a huge punch against Adams in the public eye, and also, of course, may immediately have him thinking and seeing it all put together in terms of a plea. It's a bludgeoning, again, a legal one. I don't want, it's a strategic call whether you want a speaking indictment. They've done it here, and it speaks volumes. Because, again, so it starts with, he's been doing this since he was a county official for 10 years. Is where the indictment begins. And we come right away into a relationship with Turkey. Why or how is going to be, part of the narrative as some of the details are filled in. But basically, he got some real luxury travel that he either didn't report as he was supposed to, or totally lowballed, laughably lowballed, in terms of the amounts in question. Like, he gets the suite fit for a king that goes for $7,000 a night, and he puts down $600. In doing this, he conspires with, there are people both here and officials in the Turkish government. And one of the counts involves his basic, cover up. They know what they're doing is wrong, deleting messages and the like. And then the core kind of transaction in the indictment is just before he's elected, or around that time, the Turkish king. So he gets these benefits in travel, and then there's a quid pro quo. The time comes where he's apparently told, your turn to give us payback, buddy. And what we want you to do is we want you to put pressure on the New York City Fire Department to open a new Turkish consular building, 36-story skyscraper, without a fire inspection, and at a time that the building would have failed a fire inspection. But the payback for this free travel and travel-related bribes is to put pressure on the fire department. And in fact, the fire department said, yep, I was told I was going to lose my job if I didn't acquiesce. And after Adams intervened, the skyscraper opened as requested for the visit by the Turkish president. Okay, that's the sort of Turkey part of it. It's both got failure to report benefits given to him by a foreign government, among others, and a lies about it, or cover up, and most importantly, exertion of pressure on the fire department in New York to okay the opening of a building. That's a very valuable thing, and it was a flat-out dereliction of duty in order for the Turkish president's visit to be as they wanted to. Okay. In addition to that, we have a whole bunch of illegal campaign contributions. and they are all packaged in this as well. So to make it even worse, he took advantage of, illegally used a special New York City program, a matching funds program for municipal elections that matches small dollar contributions. So these Strzok donors were listed as making small dollar contributions that they didn't, and the Adams campaign actually applied for the matching funds for them, and as a result took millions of dollars from this New York City program that they weren't supposed to have. Okay, so we have essentially this whole Turkey thing and the illegal contributions and conduct going back, not necessarily charged, but as part of the speaking indictment. You know, they're playing him as a professional corrupt politician going back 10 years, but way increasing and aggravating when he is about to becoming mayor. And in the mayoral office, they seized his phone on the street. They have a lot of cooperating witnesses, and they have him planning and conspiring to do more illegal campaign contributions. But so think, Turkey, and in terms of non-reporting of valuable contributions or gifts from them, the quid pro quo of the not ready for prime time consular building that was opened anyway, and then campaign contributions. That's the package to consider. And now, how are they? Let me just give you for a few minutes how they are. Those categories are actually packaged in terms of specific federal crimes. So we've got 5 charges in the indictment. 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and solicit foreign contributions and accept bribes. So that's the illegally accepted travel from the Turkish government. And then he also solicited from Turkish businessmen illegal foreign contributions. And this is where he improperly influences the approval of the Turkish consulate. So that's really probably the most serious centerpiece. But it's not like a case, say, in the Fulton County case against Trump, where there's one charge that kind of encompasses everything, and then other ones. There really are different ones here, but that's going to be the kind of lead one in terms of the press, in terms of how this case will be considered. Okay? Then there's a count of wire fraud, and that has to do with the public matching funds program and improperly certifying that these were small contributions when it was really straw donors. A count of bribery, and that is that goes also out of Turkey and the Turkish consulate. That specifically packages the consulate with the cheap travel. So a little interesting, because in the facts, as they're laid out in the indictment, he's getting this free travel or heavily discounted luxury travel. And at a certain point, a Turkish official says, okay, now your turn to pay up. That's sort of the opposite of how a bribery works generally, right? You would think the public official would be saying, give me the travel and I'll do you this favor. But it still, technically qualifies under federal law. We'll see whether that legal small detail figures in at all. And then because the contributions here involved, again, Turkish nationals, just so happened to be, they were, the story here, well, I'll get to that in a second. Because they did, there are 2 counts of his soliciting and receiving improper contributions through foreign citizens, a foreign national. That, as we've learned over the last several years, poses particular problems. Foreign nationals are not supposed to be contributing to American campaigns, and it follows that American political figures aren't supposed to be soliciting it. So you have a kind of funny situation overall. Why Turkey? I think it just sort of was that way, that Turkey was holding out these benefits, which come to see our luxury buildings, and we'll give you very cheap travel, and he just availed himself of it. But from there, as happens a lot in criminal cases, it goes farther and farther, and then we have the really serious greenlighting of a building that wasn't ready to go, and all kinds of things in terms of illegal contributions, especially involving foreign nationals. So it kind of metastasized, and now, it looks like, wow, this guy is a career corrupt politician. And when I say it looks like, I'm not saying they're painting him with a false brush. I mean, the allegations are serious and go well beyond what we might have thought was just a couple little transactions with people from Turkey. He has said he's innocent and looks forward to the defense, et cetera, but there's just no doubt that it is an absolute sledgehammer to New York government and Eric Adams personally. AOC had already come out saying he should step down. He's trying to come out of the box strongly, that he won't. That's what you got to do. But we'll see whether he can withstand the pressure and whether in a month or two he is still the New York mayor. As New York mayor or not, he has these serious charges to face. But of course, as of now, he is still probably the leading candidate for re-election, which the primary is next spring. So that adds a whole nother interesting political layer to what is now, looking like a very strong, classic, serious case of political corruption brought by the federal government against a very prominent, this is the first time ever a New York City mayor has been federally charged. So, pretty big deal. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.